All right, Crazy Sharp crew, today's video is going to be an out and about video. We're going to go to the various military exchanges in the San Diego area, the PX and NEXs, and we're going to see what knives they have to offer. So stand by, we're going to head out to the car and take off. All right, guys, I packed up everything we need to film. We're going to stop at Ferrum Forge Knife Works today, too. But we're off to our first location, the Uniform Shop at 32nd Street, Naval Base, also known as Naval Base San Diego. All right, folks, we have arrived at our first location, the Navy Exchange Uniform Shop, 32nd Street. They have got an outdoor area, and they usually do have some folding knives. So let's go in and take a look and see what they have to offer. This is something I thought would be fun. We're going to go all around San Diego doing this.
Sorry for the voiceover again, guys, but this is the Tactical Center. I tried to upload this and I got a copyright strike, but this isn't all the knives that they have here. This is just a little uniform shop, so they don't have a lot. They have some Gerbers and you know, some CRKT knives, not just that one actually, and then, you know, some of your Gerber paraframes and stuff like that. Just really some cheap stuff. You have this the fast draw, the Gerber fast draw, which is another one of those assisted opening, but not a lot really at this uniform shop. I remember back in the day, I thought they had more stuff, but they do have you know, your K-bar fighting utility knife, the USN version. You can see there it's branded as USN, and a bunch of lights and stuff like that, but not a lot of stuff here at this uniform shop. I was kind of disappointed. The K-bar Warthog it's not a bad little folder, but it's definitely not what I would want. They have some of the TDI neck knives, the TDI LDK. It's just, I don't know what that name stands for. And then they have the Gerber Mule, or a K-bar Mule, and some Lansky sharpening stuff, the little handheld versions. And they got a couple of the small Victorinox. I think that's the Tinker. I believe, yeah, I have that knife here at the house. So not as much stuff as I had hoped. They do have a couple Gerber machetes and stuff like that. And then just your typical, like I said in one of the other clips later, you have a CRKT minimalist buoy. But a lot of the stuff you're seeing here is kind of the same stuff you're going to see at a Big Five, but you can get like paracord and headlamps and stuff like that, Right in the Rain notebooks, and the waterproof pins, just your typical stuff that you would see at a small little exchange mini mart area. But they do have some great, these Fox River socks, some of the best socks you'll ever get. If you need good socks for walking a lot, those are about the best. So yeah, not a lot here.
So not a broad and varied selection at the uniform shop. Now that's just a little offshoot, like food court kind of area on the base. And there's, like, most bases have some small, like, mini stops, but I knew that they had that tactical section. But I haven't been here in probably 4 or 5 years. They used to have more stuff. So let's go over to the actual exchange, which on a Navy base is the same as PX. It's the NEX. So let's head that direction and we'll take a look at what they got there. We are at the actual Navy Exchange, the full exchange, and we're going to go in and see what they've got in their section. Yes, I know I've got to get my headliner fixed still, but we're going to see what they've got to offer. And then after this spot, we're going to head downtown San Diego to Marine Corps Recruit Depot, and we'll see what they've got. So I will definitely film our trip through downtown. Here we go. Let's go ahead and go in.
So my apologies, guys. This is the actual Navy Exchange there at 32nd Street, and it's one of the largest exchanges that I've ever seen. It's a huge store. They actually turned, this is the old commissary with the base grocery store, and they turned it into the exchange. And you're going to see I'm walking around because technically I'm not supposed to be filming, so I'm trying to avoid the employees. And we're doing voiceover because they have a lot of music playing that it's just absolutely going to be copyright. So here we are at the knife section. As you can see, it's basically just a regurgitation of what we saw at the little uniform shop. The only difference is they have some of these like more outdoor style knives. They have a couple of choppers. They got some hatchets, and they have some fixed blades that we didn't see. A couple Gerber fixed blades. I really didn't look at them all that much because I wasn't that interested. But they have the same like Gerber, the Gerber tools, and I was saying that one's kind of expensive. I wouldn't pay $109 for that. Then they have the Leatherman section and stuff like that. But there's just a lot of the multi-tools, $65. That's not a bad price for that Skeletool. And just like your regular Leatherman stuff, just pretty much the same fare that you would see at like Big Five. But then they've got some, here they've got some buck knives. So they got the buck 110, the buck 262, and they're not horrible prices. You're looking at like between $30 and $50. They've got the Solo buck 110 folding hunter. Those are coming in about $52, $53. And they have some SOG machetes and stuff like that. But not a lot of the stuff you expect to see. Now, they have a couple more K-bars here than they do, and we're going to look at those in a second. So they have, your K-bar Warthog folder, which is just, it's a pretty cheap little $20 folder. I've never liked them. They're not a great little knife. But then they have the Becker, the BK K-bar. So the BK and T. Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying that K-bar Becker there is like $49. And then they've got the K-bar, I think it's a TDI. I can't remember which one it is. The TDI Investigator. It's a little more slim. It's not quite as recurved. And then a couple other K-bar. That's a chopper. They've got some K-bar choppers and stuff like that. And then just your typical USN K-bar. Now the funny thing is they sell fixed blades here, but fixed blades are illegal on base. So technically, if I took this knife and I bought it and I walked out to my car, we'd be breaking the base regulations. So there's a K-bar. I think that's the Mule. But then we get into some of the CRKT stuff that they have, and it's just your typical crappy M16s and things like that. They do have the Squid. They had a CEO and I forget which, but yeah, the Squid assisted. No, we don't want assisted. And then you've got some of these others like the CEO and the LCK Plus, which are not bad little knives, but you're not really saving much by buying them on base. But I mean, you've got a little bit better selection here. They have the Pilar 3, which is a good knife. And then again, like you said, there's your M16T. And of course, you've got some Lansky pull-throughs and sharpening stuff and a Lansky ceramic rod. So not a lot else there at the Navy Exchange. So I forgot about this. As I was leaving, I happened to see this Granite Stone NutriBlade set. Possibly some of the worst knives you can get. I absolutely do not recommend these for anyone.
But guys, that was disappointing, not only because they did not have much of a selection, but because they're playing a bunch of music that I'm going to have to edit out of the video or I'm going to get a copyright strike. So let's get back in the car. We're going to head over to Marine Corps Recruit Depot, see what knives they've got to offer. And I'll film our trip through downtown because a lot of you've never been here to San Diego. So let's get started. I wanted to film this actual so you guys can see it. I think Marine Corps Recruit Depot is one of the most attractive, well-done bases in the San Diego area, possibly in the California area. The architecture here is amazing. This place is beautiful from tip to tail. Everywhere I've been on Marine Corps Recruit Depot is beautiful. It's old architecture, and it's done very well. So we're almost to the exchange. It's right up here at the end of the road here. I did have to talk to the gate guard for a second. He was asking what I was doing with a camera in the car, and I told him I've got a YouTube channel. I told him I would stop and erase the footage if he asked, but he was fine with it. So let's find us a parking space and go into the shopping complex here and take a look at what knives they have to offer. So we're here. Let's go ahead and go in and take a look. So like I said, this installation itself is just absolutely beautiful. I always love coming here. So this is where we're going over here. So it does not look super promising. They do have a larger selection of some stuff, like they got camelbacks, canteens, flashlights, all kinds of stuff. Otis gun cleaning kits, things like that. We're looking at basically the same selection of, actually less selection when you really look at it than the other exchanges. Not see much. I see some K-bar skeleton stuff. Gerber Swagger, Warthog folders. These are all pretty much standard fare from all of the exchanges so far, but even less than I was expecting. I remember them having a lot more stuff last time I came here. So our shopping excursion, I apologize, guys, has not been the best, but it's still been fun. What is this, though? This is a tactical Ruco combat neck knife boot knife. Now, I've never heard of Ruco. If any of you have ever heard of it, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with the selection here, but we'll look around some more because this is a nice exchange. They have all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't get at like a Navy exchange. Like this. You don't see weapons care kits and firearm wipes. I might actually buy that. I need something to wipe the exterior of my weapons off with. But yeah, so that's what we've got here. Let's see what if there's anything I'm missing down this way. Now, sometimes they have little cases of stuff as well. But maybe I'll pick up some giveaway stuff here. There's some nice looking, there's some good stuff that I could do for giveaways. Like anybody want a schmag? So we'll see. So yeah, guys, I've looked around the rest of this part of the store and I do not see anything else that indicates to me that they have any more knives. Now, they do have a lot of cool stuff, but that's not what we're here for. So let's go ahead and head back to the car. Let's go ahead and head to Miramar. So I'm gonna give you guys a heads up. Miramar is really far away. It's about a 45-minute drive. We're gonna head up that way. I'm not sure they're gonna have anything other than what we've already seen, but we'll check it out. And then we'll head over to Ferrum Forge Knife Works because I am meeting with Chris and Elliot over there, and we're gonna see what new stuff they have designed and have coming out. So let's head back. Not a bad drive up here. Traffic wasn't too bad. It's about 17 miles from Marine Corps Recruit Depot to here, but we're going to go in. We're going to take a look what they got. If I remember right, they have more stuff. I haven't been up here for a few months, but we're going to take a look and see what they've got. And then we're going to head over to Ferrum Forge Knife Works, look at their stuff, maybe hit another base if we have time. So once again, they are playing a lot of music that I just cannot remove, but you can see this is pretty much the same stuff. There's a few more buck knives here than there were at the other bases. They had some buck fixed blades, but I found something amazing here, and we're going to see that in a minute. This is something right here that you guys are going to see a video about because I did. Well, PDM purchased this knife. This is something that throws back to my childhood. But they had some crappy knives that are made by this company, Ruco. Now, they did have K-bars, $59 for this K-bar. It's kind of a modified TDI pocket strike. I do like that. That's a good looking knife. They have the K-bar wrench knife. $49. It's not a great knife, but the K-bars up here, I think were a little cheaper, and they had a larger selection. They have a couple K-bars that we didn't see, like this Tonto fighting knife, and then they have a large K-bar Tonto fighting knife, which is $99, which really for a K-bar that's done like that's not a bad price. It's a big knife. But then, like I said, you've got some of these horrible cheap knives. But they've got one here that I had never seen in my life. This is more of a Japanese style dagger knife with a big swedge. That's a really cool knife, and I'm going to try and see if I can't get one somehow to have on the channel because I'm really interested in that. I'd never seen that before anywhere. And I did find out they're starting to sell firearms up there again. But yeah, here we go back to this Ruco, just really cheap. And when I say cheap, not just cheap in price, but cheap in everything. Those are some crappy looking knives.
But then over here, they've got some CRKTs. You got your Pilar large and your Pilar, your Pilar 3. Then they have some of these Benchmades. Absolutely ridiculous price. And that is one of the most worthless knives right there. This SOCP dagger, completely worthless in price. You got your mini grip or your Griptilian, $139. But then a bug out, $139 for a bug out is absolutely ridiculous in price if you ask me. I don't understand it. And you can see me right there. I was like, I don't get it. I think all of their Benchmates were the same price, $139. Mini Presidio is not a bad knife, but still not worth $140 in my opinion. $169 for the Barrage, which actually is a decent knife, but it's half serrated. And so I don't like that. The Boost, I absolutely do not like the Boost. It's assisted opening. And the Tactical Triage, $239. It's half serrated. It's just, they're not really good knives. And then you've got a bunch of the Swiss Army knives, but here they've got some of the larger ones like the Champ series. They had a couple of the Champ series knives here. They had the Swiss Champ. I have this exact knife here. It's a great little outdoor tool. And then they've got some of the bigger Gerber stuff, but they have a brand here I'd never heard of. And this is absolutely, like, look at that bare edge. That is a Seal Prep knockoff. That is absolutely a Seal Prep blade. And they had a couple of smaller folders, but then they've got some bigger Gerber folders, which those aren't bad knives, but they're still, like, the prices on them are still kind of ridiculous. And then you've got, the grip on those is good. The Strong Arm is a good knife. I just don't think it's worth what they're charging. But they have the old school paraframe Gerbers there at the base here. So a larger selection. But, when you would think, like, they still have all the huge selection of multis. They have more multi-tools than they have actual knives. But you would think at a military installation, they'd have more cool and tactical stuff. But the one thing they do have, and you can see me right here, I'm picking up this knife. This is coming home with me. And it's 100% because I remember the original TV commercials. My grandmother actually got one of these for me for Christmas from that commercial. So there you go, guys. They had a lot more stuff here, and I did find that they absolutely do sell firearms here now. They didn't used to. It used to be there was only one place. It was all up at Pendleton, which we're not driving all the way to Pendleton. That's about an hour drive from the house. But we're going to get in the car. We're going to start working our way towards Ferrum Forge Knife Works. I'm going to get something to eat on my way. It's about 17 miles from where we are at to here. It's about 25 miles from here back to the house. So I think ish. I'll put the actual things up, but you're going to see it in the time lapse when I'm driving. But yeah, at any rate, I'm going to go get something to eat, and then we're going to head to Ferrum Forge Knife Works. So I am at Ferrum Forge Knife Works. The drive is complete. I waited for a while. Christopher is reboxing the knife that I've already looked at.
Ooh, knifery.
See, I'm used to filming with people that are significantly shorter. I have to adjust the stick. There we go. There we go. So I didn't bring the actual tripod. I brought the stick. So this is the new Ferrum Forge Knife Works.
It's been a few years.
In an undisclosed location.
It's like on the internet, man. Yeah.
It's like on the internet, man? Yeah, I never believe what you read on the internet. Ever. So, Chris has handed me a new Stinger button lock that you guys are going to get to see. And so we will do an actual first day in pockets on this beautiful. Oh, God, that's beautiful. Oh, God. This is so exciting. It's good. It's good.
Let's give you a little shiver.
Yeah, that's absolutely, that knife needed to be a button lock. So, what else is going on with Ferrum Forge Knife Works?
Oh, I have a kid. And Elliot.
So you have two kids?
Yes. Yeah.
Hey.
You gonna dispute that? No.
Mm-hmm. So you guys got new models coming out? Always making new stuff and modifying stuff that already exists.
You know I love it when Elliot designs new things and I can hate on it. Shits all over it, actually.
All over it. I've never shit on any of your knives except the Scepter. and anytime that you took a perfectly good knife and turned it into a septac.
I thought you literally shit on one of his knives.
No, but I did used to put one of my customers' knives in my butt crack because he was not a good person. And I know that every time he got one of those knives, he was like, why do I get pink eye every time Mike sharpens a knife for me?
So silly, it's weird.
Yeah. I'm kidding. I didn't actually do that. This is the first time I've been to the new office. It's been about at least since you guys moved from the old shop. It's been about that long.
Yeah. You see these buckets? Good thing we cleaned.
Yes, I saw the prototypes of those.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so are those actually releasing?
Yeah, they're out.
Which one is that?
This is the Zelex.
Hang on a second. I have to get my old man devices. You guys know I need my reading glasses.
It's cute.
The what?
Zelex.
The Zelex. That's a nice looking knife.
A little
Liner
Tonto.
lock. Little Tonto.
Mm-hmm. Actually easier to sharpen than you think.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've sharpened a lot of them, so
Well, I know you have.
focus with me here. Yeah,
Right.
that's a good looking.
Like the spinner, you can pull that into just one continuous bevel.
Yeah. That's what most people wind up doing, and then they send it to me. I want it to look like it did when it came from the factory, and then I'm like, yeah, well, why didn't you?
I did it to mine.
Yeah, a lot of times you can do that. And you get more of a
Now-
Japanese style Tonto out of it.
Granted, I dropped my knives onto rocks and had to fix some pieces that were missing.
Shouldn't do that.
I was trying to get the picture, man. I was doing it for the gram, okay?
So yeah, you guys have got a whole security cage inside because of the neighborhood you're in. I understand that completely. I know exactly where you're at. This is the kind of neighborhood where you definitely do want a security cage inside your office so that anything worthwhile is.
True, but I feel like it's just good practice to have anywhere.
As opposed to the last shot where the garage door was open all day and we just hung out. There was just stuff laying everywhere at all
Never
times.
drove me insane.
No, never, not at all.
I never shared my feelings with anybody in the shop either. Really kept that contained. We're trying to have a little like office gym look into the camera moment.
Yes.
Yeah, we already had it. He picks up what I'm putting down. Me and Elliot are on the same wavelength most of the time.
Which is
And-
right for me.
And that wavelength is what can we do to make Chris crazy? A lot of times that's the wavelength. Never. So I never told you this,
I'm,
and Elliot already knows. You remember your parallel pliers, and you would flip out like, where did I put my parallel pliers? And you're like, why are they? And I would always take your parallel pliers and I would put them somewhere where it would logically be somewhere you would have put them, but not where you actually had left them. And I would stand over at the anodizing station and here you go, where the fuck did I put my pliers? And I would giggle intensely to myself. And I came into the shop one time and Elliot saw me, I picked up the pliers and I moved them and he goes, are you the one that keeps doing that? You're driving him insane. He's like, you are literally driving him insane.
yes, I know what you assholes do. That's why I was like, which one of you fuckers is moving my pliers around?
It was me. But I would always put them somewhere where it would logically make sense that you may have done it yourself. So you would always second guess it like, did I leave them there?
Oh, Chris, I don't know. You should keep better track of your pliers.
I mean, I blamed him most of the time.
I know, and that was good because he blamed a lot of stuff on me because he knew you would believe it. There was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff in the shop that got blamed on me, especially after Bodiger left. Like once Bodiger left, everything got blamed on me.
Listen. As a hockey player in particular, not just athlete, but hockey player, right? We all know that you blame everything else besides yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It's the ice, it's your skates, it's
Yeah.
the stick, it's all these gloves. I just can't handle the puck with these gloves. Anything else?
It's like the military. Who do you blame? The guy that just showed up or the guy that just left? Those are the two guys. It's never you. It's one of those two people.
over there.
Video. What you got there?
Look at us, 3 grown-ass men just standing around watching a little baby eat something.
Hey,
Hey, that's my child, okay?
look.
I'm supposed to do this.
Here's
She
the deal.
doesn't die.
Adult is defined by age, but grown up, that's when they steal your soul. So we can be adults, but not be grown ups.
Just quick crackers.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, don't die.
Being an adult is a legal definition of age, but being a grown up is a state of mind.
can't disagree with that.
See?
So how long have I been growing up?
Since you were 3.
So I'm 34 now.
I've got pictures. I've got pictures.
I've seen pictures.
I like that. I know exactly what picture you're referring to. It's a good
You're
picture.
wearing a tie and a white button up and a pair of slacks. Yeah. You were what, 6? You looked like you were going to elementary school to be an accountant.
He's not wrong.
So guys, I'm not going to film too much more here. It'll make the video a lot longer because I still have to go to North Island to see what manner of garbage knives they have in the exchange there. So when I get done here, you guys will see the time lapse of me driving all the way over to North Island. Well, we have reached the beautiful island paradise of Coronado. And we're going to go in and see what they've got here. This is our last stop. This is Naval Station North Island, and I don't think they're going to have much, but we're going to check it out and see. So let's go see.
So I didn't expect to see much different than we saw anywhere else. So you got the same stuff, Gerbers, the Gerber tools, some SOG machetes, SOG multi-tools, bunch of CRKT knives that we've already seen at all of the other bases. They do have a CEO. I think we saw a CEO at one of the other bases. And K-bars. This was the first flipper knife I ever owned. It was the M16. Mine was titanium. They got the different K-bars. And then some Lansky stuff. And then the K-bar folders. As you would expect. So,
Like I said, I didn't expect to see a lot here. This is an air base. This is more of a Gucci kind of base. They don't have a lot of the stuff. They do have a pretty nice outdoor selection here. You can see all the sleeping bags and stuff. So they have a lot of stuff. It's just not the stuff we look at. So the whole point of this video was to show, like, everybody would expect that you'd see all kinds of really cool tactical knives and stuff at a military installation, and it's not necessarily true. So we're gonna head back to the house. It's been about an 80-mile round trip day so far today. So with that being said, I'm gonna probably film a little bit more and then do some final thoughts when I get back to the house. See, I kind of expected this one to be anticlimactic. I was stationed out here for like 3 years, so I knew that this exchange was not gonna be the best. I think Miramar was the best one, but like I said, not much. We're gonna head home. I have got to stop at the grocery store on the way home, and we'll get that time lapse of that, and we'll see what maybe they have at the little mini mart there at 13th Street. But I'm not thinking it's going to be much.
welcome to Imperial Beach, California during rush hour. I'm on my way home. I think that this is the end of the time lapse and filming. So you will get some final thoughts as soon as we get back to the house. So guys, it's a couple days later. I'm doing the editing, and for some reason the outro audio, there just wasn't any. So it wound up being about 96 miles round trip when I looked at my odometer and everything. So it was a fun day. I had a lot of fun, but you can see there's just not a lot of stuff available on the base. There's a big misconception that there's so much tactical gear and stuff available. And there is for some things, but as far as knives, that kind of gets left by the wayside. Up at Camp Pendleton, there is a lot more stuff, but hey, you know, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm not going to make it long. I didn't drop any sponsor stuff in, but I do have the channel sponsors, Coffee Brand Coffee, Tempered Trail. I have the Amazon store. Take that link, save it to your browser. And I have got the membership. Just pick a tier that works best for you. Just remember, everyone gets access to that gilded server, which is about the best benefit I could offer. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I'll see you guys in the next video.